In this first lesson on Unity 6, we're gonna start to do the first steps in the application. We will open up a template and we will do some really basic introduction to the interface. So in the previous video, we saw what Unity is and how we can install it, how we can actually get it from the hub, which is a little app that you need to open when you open up a Unity project or when you want to start a brand new project. So you always need to go through the app here or one way or the other. And these are the two desktop icons that I found once I finished the installation from the previous video. And they get you to the hub. And from the hub, you can manage the projects, the installs. You have like releases and pre-releases here. And also you have a learning section where you can get some education like tutorials and things like that, and also community where we can participate more actively. Now, what I want to do here is go in the project panel of the Unity Hub and start with a new. Now, if you already have a project, you can add it directly in the hub from the disk or from other position. Otherwise, we can create a new one. And here in the learning section of the various templates, we can find a couple of really interesting templates that we can start with. One is a 2D platformer micro game, and the other one is a 3D. So Unity is used to create interactive apps, especially video games. You can also do something that is more serious. And for example, in the 3D first-person shooter here, or FPS micro game, you can use this to do some simulation of walking around an architecture or something like that. So just like Unreal Engine, you can use it for entertainment, but you can also use it for more serious purposes or architecture design, visualization, etc., etc. Now, once you're ready, and you can go here and discover more about this template. So you have a description, you have the size, so you can see this is pretty small, and the platform, the category, etc., etc. And also here you can see the 3D one is not so heavy, so you can download it quickly. You click on the download template and just wait for it to be downloaded. And then you also have the FPS micro game, which we're also going to download, and we're going to have a look in this first lesson. Lesson are going to start with really basic things, so they're going to be really easy for everyone, for the new beginners, for anyone that also will never open a software in its life. So we're gonna start really simple, then we're gonna increase the level of difficulty. Now you can see here, I'm just filling out the project settings. Once you finish to download, to start the new project, to create the new project from the template, you can choose a name, you can choose a folder where to store it. And I want to store it here in my course folder. So I created a folder for this video course, Unity 6, and I'm gonna get the files in there, and I created a folder for the templates specifically. Now you can also do a connection to the Unity cloud. So if you want to manage access and other settings, so this is kind of additional features that you can add and more for sharing and things like that. And also here, Unity version control. If you want to track the changes to your project, if you're collaborating with other people, so you want to use this collaborating tool. Otherwise, you could just leave it unchecked. And that's it. So let's create a project. And this is gonna start right here. It's gonna bring us to the projects panel inside the Unity Hub right here. And after a while, it's gonna open up the engine. So you can see it's opening up now the actual engine where we work most of the time. But again, you have projects here, you have installs for the various versions of Unity, you have learning material, and you can also go in the community. So make sure well, sometimes there's nothing yet, but there will be something in there. And then you have discussions, blog, and community section. So for the projects, we're gonna start here. And I can close this right now, but I'm just gonna keep it open because I wanna also do a test with the other template. So I'm gonna use here the first one, which was the 2D. So I need to wait. You can see it's installing the packages right now. So is how when you run a new project, when you create a new project, it's like installing a new video game in your computer. So it's gonna take like a few minutes. So just be patient in there, and it will open up eventually. There you go. Now it's kind of speeding up, but I'm gonna pause here. I'm going to jump forward. Okay, so you can see now that we have the 2D platformer ready, and you can start with this. You can customize it. You have everything you need, like scripts, audio, tutorials, and other stuff in order for you to help you to start. And you have, again, step-by-step tutorials at the beginning. You can see when you open up it the first time, you can directly get started from here. On the right side, you have a panel in this new version that will help you get going with the first steps. So these are definitely handy and useful when you're starting. So we're gonna go through this real quick. You can read everything if you want, but essentially here is just telling us that we can just start or either go back or close it. Now we have this panel that you can expand, and this is going to show you little animations of these basic actions. But right now you see we don't have anything loaded, so let's see what it's going to show us. It's going to show us how to play the scene that or the level that you created or the game that you created. Using the play button, you can switch from play mode to game view. So play mode is for testing, and the, the 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 other mode is for working. So this is pretty basic animation. It's just showing you where the button is. In case you didn't notice, it's up here. You can see you can play from there, and that's going to play out the simulation. It's going to simulate your game so you can see if everything work fine. Now this also has audio. You cannot hear it, but it's there is audio included. And you can move the arrows, go back and forward. You can press the space bar, like the basic commands that you usually have in platforms. And let's continue. So the next thing in line is the hierarchy panel. The hierarchy panel is here on the left, and from here you can keep track of all the assets you're using in your scene, in your project. You can check here. You can click and select one asset. In this case is the player, which is the little human there, the little man that's running around. And from here you can change all the properties of a specific asset that you selected. Again, if you want to play the animation to see it better, you can do it if you want, but this is pretty simple. So essentially what it's asking us for this tutorial is to change the maximum speed. So from the inspector you can manage, you can see, you can edit all these parameters just by clicking in the empty slots and typing, or just using drop-down menus or checkboxes, etc., etc. So we're gonna come here when we need to do some settings for the specific assets. Now it's asking us to change the maximum speed and increase it to 10. So I'm gonna look for that parameter. This is kind of a little tricky part. There you go, there it is, max speed. So I'm gonna type 10, and that's it. I've completed this little quiz, little test, little tutorial. And okay, we can save once we're finished, and we can play out and see if the change is actually happening. So what I should see is that the speed of the character should be now way faster. There it is. Yeah, it is definitely faster. So let's press the stop the simulation, and that's done. So we can now save, and this is gonna bring us here to the actual interface. So now this is what you're gonna see usually in Unity, you have the tutorials there on the right side if you want to go there and play that back. And then you have all the panels here. We just make the introduction, so we're gonna go more into deep with this, but essentially we have hierarchy, we have the inspector, and this is the scene panel. And right now I'm scrolling my mouse wheel, so it goes like in a zoom movement. So if I scroll the scroll wheel of my mouse is gonna scroll. If I press the scroll wheel, is going to pan around, so we can see the entire level here. And it's really interesting for those of you who never saw how to develop a 2D platform level or scene. Well, it's actually all there, and it just moves horizontally usually or vertically, but essentially this is, you know, this is the game. So this is where we can actually see a preview of what the game is going to look like. And in the scene panel instead is kind of the work area where you're going to spend time working and defining the little characters here, the players, the assets, and everything else. And then, well, we're going to talk about the rest of the interface in another video. Just going to want to go up here. You have a set of drop-down menus just like any other application in Windows. And from here you can save, you can create a new scene, you can open a new scene, you can open a recent scene, you can save as, give me another name. You can save this as a template. If you change something, we want to use it as a template. Or you can also create a new project, opening a new project, saving a project, etc., etc. And then, of course, you can exit. So these are really basic commands, but really important. So I'm going to close. You can close with the little X or with the close or with the exit. And okay, I'm not online right now. It's suggested to be online if you want to use many features in Unity, but you can also use it offline. Now I connected again, and from here, if I want, I can also go and manage my projects now. So you can see it's not connected, meaning that right now it's not connected to the Unity cloud, but I can connect it from there. I can also see the last time I saved this, so I can make this a favorite or not. And this little link is when we want to link to Unity version control to collaborate with other people. And we see the name, we see the directory. These three little dots will give you access to the files in the Explorer. So if you're curious, you want to see how it looks like in the folder, you can just go there, get to the Windows Explorer and explore your game. So usually it has some assets here, so audio files, images, etc., etc. Then it has libraries if you download it to use libraries, packages, project settings, and user settings right now. So then we hope we can also add more, but this is just to show you everything looks in your computer and where to find it. You can also connect to Unity Cloud right here. You can use Unity version control right here. And you can also remove this project from the list. And that's it. So now let's create a new project. Now there are a lot of templates, not just the learning templates, but for this first lesson, we're going to go directly in the learning section, but you can find it also here. There you go. FPS micro game learning. And I'm going to call this like test 2 template. So we're gonna have a look also to this other one. Again, select a folder where you wanna save it. And I'm gonna use, again, the same one. So Unity 6 templates. Select folder, select the name, create a project, and just wait as we did previously, and should appear any moment. So again, this is where you find all your projects you're currently working on. And if you want, you can install more versions of the editor. So if you click install, you can see here if there are other versions available, if there are pre-releases, and you can see you have 2022, 2021, so some of the previous versions and no pre-releases so far, and also archive here. So, well, you find some instructions if you're interested. You also have beta program webpage to see the beta versions which are not pretty stable. Now I'm going to close that, and this is also another part when you can do some settings. You can change some settings, so you can add modules, you can install more modules, and here also where you will find additional languages. I'm going to use the English version, but you can see here we have some language packs, which is right now in preview, meaning that it's not ready probably at the moment because the Unity 6 is had just been launched a few weeks ago, so it doesn't probably have everything ready, but that's fine. We're going to use the English version. Windows, you can see here I can read some more information, directory, and that's pretty much it for now for this other panel. So let's open up now the game. Let's see if it's ready. Let me go back here, and there you go. It's ready there on the background. So I can make this also my favorite, and now I can just close the hub for this video. We're done with the hub. Again, we're back in the getting started mode. So if you want to have some help, you want to use some tutorials, you can do it right away, or you will find them on the right side. And I'm just gonna go here. So again, this is the FPS first person shooter. So you have again some basic help here you can use. So if you want tutorials, you can go to load tutorials. If you want to jump directly into the scene, you can go to the load scene. So right now we're just going to go in the load scene, and we're in the 3D world right now. So again, if I scroll my scroll wheel, I can do the zoom, I can move in and out. It's kind of a going backward and forward movement. If I press the scroll wheel, I'm gonna do the pan. If I right click, I'm gonna move the site, I'm gonna move my view, and you need to use this in combination with WASD. Now those are the keys to move in a video game, and you need to hold the right mouse button, and once you hold the right mouse button you can move around with WASD. So it's like again moving into a first person shooter, but you can fly, you're not like uh, you cannot you can also move and fly, you're not constricted to ground. And I guess we can just play the game right now. I think it's pretty fun to just see the passage from the background here, the backend, and then play the game directly in the editor. So you can see now all the little heads-up display, and then I have like a gun. So if I press with the right mouse, it's gonna like aim. So it's a little bit different from the design view, the design panel. The game panel is actually showing how the game will actually work. So if I move around, I can go around here. There's this enemy. I can shoot the little enemy there, and there you go. And I can get the health. So I have all those again, first-person shooter basics, heads-up display. So it's really fun. It's really interesting, especially for those of you who never done this. The first time is really cool and entertaining. And that's basically it. So we just tested a couple of learning templates, 2D and 3D, just to give you an introduction of the interface, and also you can see what Unity is capable of. But this is just the beginning. You can do much more. So subscribe to stay updated for this video course. And also, if you want to thank us, if you want to support us, please join the channel as a supporter and check out other video courses, for example, in Unreal Engine or Twinmotion or 3D modeling or interactive design. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.